Today, I'm going to share 6 tips on how to go carnivore. Carnivore is what helped get me into remission because I have lymphocytic colitis. Hi there! Welcome to episode 26 of my chronic illness journey. My name is Shay McIntosh Ford and I live in Tulsa with my husband, our 2 boys, and our little puppy. I was diagnosed with lymphocytic colitis a year ago after my bout with COVID-19, which was 13 months prior to that. My doctor believes that the COVID virus triggered my condition. And because it can be so difficult to find not only information on this condition, but information that doesn't conflict, I decided to start a series of videos, mostly vlogs. So I've been recording a cooking demonstration of the foods that I eat, and I'm all done. I don't have any more foods to show you at the moment. So I thought instead I would share some advice and different tips that have helped me. And then after that, I will go into my vlog for the week. And the reason why I'm including my vlog is because it illustrates how lymphocytic colitis affects my day-to-day life. Even though I'm in remission, I still have trouble from time to time depending on what's been going on. So the rest of my usual spiel I'm going to do after my 6 tips in case you're only here for that. But I will say that diet most certainly matters with this condition, and everyone's different. Carnivore works for me. For other people, vegetables work for them, and that would absolutely tear me up. That's why this condition can be so frustrating to figure out. What works for one person might not work for another. But if you would like to try carnivore, I'm here to help you. And when I say carnivore, I did general carnivore without the dairy and eggs in the very beginning, but I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, so I did a lion diet, which is only ruminant meats, water, and salt. So now I'd like to get into my 6 tips on how to start carnivore. I want to start off by saying I am not a doctor or an expert. I'm offering what I think works based on my research and experience. But I will tell you that your body, everyone's body, doesn't matter who you are, can either run on carbs or fat. Carnivore is 0 carbs, and there is an adjustment on getting there, and that can be a challenge. Remember, there's a transition phase. For me, it happened when I went to keto, and this was before I had lymphocytic colitis. I didn't have a lot of digestive trouble, only if I ate gluten, because I've been gluten-free for 11 years now. But when I switched to keto, it took about 2 weeks for me to get fat adapted. And in that time, I did experience diarrhea. My assumption is if you have colitis and you're interested in carnivore for treating it, you can expect your symptoms to get worse before they get better. And some people might take longer than 2 weeks. I would imagine it might, because our guts are hurting. So it might take a lot longer for you to adapt. A good rule of thumb about trying carnivore is you want to try it for 90 days. That way your body has had a chance to transition. You'll start to notice if you have any improvement in your symptoms by then. Start slow. Unless you're already keto, then just go straight on carnivore like I did. I didn't have any problems with it. But if you're coming from high carbs, you might want to continue eating some very well cooked, low carb, peeled veggies until you're fat adapted. I will link an article down below on low carb veggies. A good way to remember if it's a low carb veggie is if it grew above ground or not. Not all above ground veggies are low carb, but most of them are. In the article, you can look at which ones are good and then just pick out the ones you think you might not react to so much. But definitely cook them down to try to remove as much of the fiber out of them as you can, because the fiber will irritate your gut more. Don't be afraid of fat. It goes against everything we are taught. And there's a lot of research in that. Look up Ansel Keys and you'll see that up until the 1950s, we ate a lot of fat. As a society, we didn't have a weight problem until we started going low fat. So fat will not make you fat. And the healthy fats will not cause heart disease. Ansel Keys was never able to prove that ever. No one has been able to prove that saturated fat will cause heart disease. Your gallbladder might have some trouble in the beginning, if you have one, And it's still possible to go carnivore without a gallbladder. I might try to link some of that down below too. But if you're coming from a low-fat lifestyle, it's because your gallbladder just isn't used to working like it's supposed to. Don't be afraid of salt. If you're used to high processed foods like I was before I started keto, you might realize quickly that you need sodium, because processed foods are absolutely loaded with sodium. You didn't have to salt your food so much, but you will when you start carnivore. Just be very careful about which salt you choose. Literally, look at the ingredient list on the back. It's not always just salt. They put other things in there. Ideally, get some salt that needs to be freshly ground, because manufactured grinding can cause cross-contamination with other spices, and we don't want spices, unfortunately. Personally, I use pink Himalayan salt, and I get this at Costco. When you look at the ingredients, that's all it is, Himalayan pink salt. And it comes with a grinder every time I buy it. I've also heard that Redmond's real salt is a good one. I will link that down below as well. Drink bone broth. If you're coming from high carb, you will likely experience the keto flu. Drinking a good bone broth with salt will help, as will drinking plenty of water. Just be very careful about which bone broth. A lot of them have sugars and other ingredients in them. A lot of them are made with onions and other flavorings. You probably don't want that. I recommend a homemade bone broth. I make beef bone broth, but you can also make chicken. If you can tolerate chicken, not everybody can. You can even make a pork bone broth. And I will link right here my recipe for how I make my homemade bone broth. There are also other tips for fighting keto flu, which I will link down below. A lot of the other tips have to do with people who are doing keto in order to lose weight. That might be what you need. If you are overweight and you are trying to lose some weight, this might help. But some of us are underweight because of this condition, which brings me to tip number 6. Don't be afraid of losing more weight if you are currently underweight. Because I had been consuming a lot of dairy, especially heavy whipping cream, before my diagnosis, I was able to gain back a few pounds from my keto weight loss, but then I had to cut all the dairy out of my diet altogether. I lost all that extra weight. It wasn't very much. It was only like 15 pounds maybe. Before I started keto, I was pushing 180, but now I am at 116 and I haven't moved. It hasn't gone up, it hasn't gone down. This seems to be my ideal body weight. Even if I'm fasting for 2 days, my weight will not fluctuate. As long as you're getting and absorbing all your nutrients, I would think that you would be at your body's ideal weight like me. If I were still having diarrhea 4, 5, 6 times a day, then yes, I could see that I would end up becoming underweight. But carnivore helps me to control my bowel movements so that I can absorb the nutrients that I need. And those are my 6 tips for starting carnivore. There's a lot more, it's not exhaustive. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And if you'd like to stick around for my vlog, feel free to do so. Otherwise, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this information with someone that you think might be able to benefit from it. And on to my vlog. So in my vlog, I record what I eat and when, and I don't snack. If I have recorded a recipe that I have already made a video on, I will pop it in this little eye over here. I will also link it down below because YouTube only allows me 5 little eyes per video. And I drink only water, homemade beef bone broth, and organic black coffee, which I can only have a teacup of every other day. And as you will see, I do drink an occasional glass of organic, no sulfites added Cabernet wine if I'm in too much pain to fall asleep at night. Coffee and wine are my only 2 non-carnivore things that I consume, but I'm very picky about which ones. That's why they're organic. And when I drink the wine, it's only the 1 glass, which is pretty much enough to put me to sleep. And because colitis is an irritable bowel disease, I do talk about when I go have a BM. If I'm having a flare, it can be more than once a day. When I do have a bout of diarrhea, then I'll go ahead and take an Imodium. I used to take Pepto, but I'm gonna see how I do without it because it was pointed out to me that it's related to aspirin, and we are not supposed to be taking NSAIDs like aspirin. So if you're suffering from colitis, I hope everything I'm sharing on this video will help you. That's the whole point of me making the videos and talking about my bathroom habits. And with that said, here's my week. Good morning. I'm still hurting, but it's time to eat breakfast. Arm roast in ghee butter, and I'm really bummed that I couldn't drink a second day of coffee. I did need wine, and I'll probably need wine again tonight. Tomorrow is liver, and then I'll do my 48-hour fast. Whether I feel better or not, I think my gut just needs a reset in general. But I am excited for using that cast iron. I won't get to use my Dutch oven until after my fast is over. Oh well. I don't think I'm ever gonna figure out my body. If you remember from last episode, I had a really bad watery BM last night about 10 o'clock. And then just now I had a BM and it was completely normal, even with a ghost wipe. This condition is such a riddle. I have no idea what to expect. I thought, well, I'm still in pain. I'm gonna be, my next bowel movement is probably gonna be another bad one, but I don't understand it. Hopefully I'm on the mend. I know that doing a 48-hour fast is gonna make it better. That's gonna start tomorrow after liver. So Abby has the computer again, so I'm on my phone. And now can you guess part of the reason why my videos are always late? But I'm ready to eat. Salmon fillet. This time it's cooked in tallow, and then I got the tallow cracklings on top. And sardines, skin on, bone in, and water, not oil, with no salt added because I will be adding my own salt. And tomorrow is liver, and then I'm gonna be doing the fast because I'm still hurting. I will be needing wine tonight. I'm gonna try to eat my liver as early as I can to give my gut a chance to kind of relax for bed, so I'm not tempted to drink the wine. I mean, I'm not gonna drink it anyway because I really wanna fast because I just need to get over this problem. I also need sleep. So hopefully I can get to sleep okay tomorrow. I'm ready to eat. Good morning. I forgot to brew coffee and my liver's getting cold, so I'm gonna go ahead and start my liver. Coffee's now brewing. Half a pound of liver in tallow with the cracklins on top. It is a coffee day. I'm having a morning. I forgot to brew the coffee, and even while I was getting it ready, I put the filter in and hit the on button, completely forgetting to put the grounds in that I just ground up. But it's going, and I just wanted to eat my liver before it gets cold. I'm still hurting, so I'm looking forward to doing the 48-hour fast after this meal. So this is my last meal for 2 days. Hopefully you won't see me, but you might, just because I might have to go to the bathroom. So I just had a BM. It was almost normal, but I'm very happy because hopefully this means that my cramping will be diminished by bedtime. I'll be able to fall asleep because I'm not going to be able to have the wine because of fasting. Fingers crossed that I'll be okay and this will get me past it. I was thinking about it. I may go a third day. Not sure yet. I will also probably break my fast with the clams that I have in the freezer, the same way I did with the sardines the previous time, and I'll really know if it's a problem. And I may end up doing the same thing with the mussels. I think that's a good way to reintroduce foods, is to try it right after a fast, because that way you know. I'm a happy camper at the moment. Good morning. I have had another successful 48-hour fast. I am ready to break it, and I am breaking my fast with clams to see how I react to them. So there's no question about what could have caused my issues, or anything like that. And because it's only clams, I'm gonna also add a can of sardines. That's it. I'm doing much better. You can see I'm dressed for a workout. I do have a personal training session at noon, so we'll see how that goes. I'll let him know that the only way I can consider what caused my reaction was possibly that I overdid it in the last training session, because we did some new exercises like stair steps and stuff like that. I don't know. Well, I thought about doing a 3-day fast, but because I'm having a training session, I figured I might as well go ahead and eat and break it now since I'm feeling okay. You can still exercise while you're fasting, and if it wasn't for the fact that it was an actual training session, I probably would have gone an extra day, but I'd probably get some flack for it. So since I'm feeling fine, I might as well go ahead and eat now. Plus, I'm excited to try out my new cast iron Dutch oven. That's going to be for dinner. I'm gonna have ground bison with beef bone broth bits, and I'm going to cook it in the Dutch oven, see how I do with that. I'm not going to use the Dutch oven as a Dutch oven. I'm using it like a skillet for this, but I guess it'll work. I was so excited to try something new right after fasting. I completely forgot that it is a coffee day. I have already eaten, but I didn't want to wait another day for my coffees. I'm going to have it now. It's better with food, but it's still good anyway. Time for dinner, very late dinner. Don't normally eat so late, but I was at a sci-fi fantasy book convention all afternoon. I didn't get a chance to eat, but I just broke in my new cast iron Dutch oven, using it like a skillet for the first time. So I am having ground bison in beef tallow with beef bone broth bits. I'm doing good. The clams didn't bother me. I'm gonna try the mussels again. So I'm gonna get both. I have to go to, I am out of sardines, so I have to go to Sprouts and get some more of that anyway. I am also completely out of liver, and the ranch still is out of stock on that, on all their organ meats, to be honest. These came today. I ordered these off of Amazon, blown out. I'll link it down below. But they're just desiccated liver supplements. It's beef liver in gelatin caplets, and that's it. I mean, I'm assuming I won't react to the gelatin. Maybe it's, beef gelatin. Although there's also fruit pectin that gels, so hopefully it's a carnivore source and not a plant source. On Sunday, I'll start taking these. Hopefully the liver comes in soon, because it's nowhere in town. Like, everyone's out of liver. Even Whole Foods and Sprouts, they're all out. They like, oh yeah, we usually carry liver, but we're all out right now. Our supplier is out. There's a liver shortage. I'll be taking those as a backup on Sunday. With these, it's not like eating liver, so I'm going to take them every day, and I'll just, when the liver comes back in, I'll stop and then give myself some time before eating the half-pound liver like I normally do. I'm gonna go ahead and eat. It's still hot, so that's why I'm rambling, but I'm feeling good. I love 48-hour fasts. Morning! I'm not terribly hungry, but we're going to a play at 8 o'clock tonight, and I want to be hungry enough for dinner before going to the play. I'm gonna go ahead and have my second helping of ground bison in beef bone broth bits and tallow. So far, so good. I was a little worried last night that maybe I was going to have a reaction, because I'm worried about if I got all of the grapeseed oil out of the Dutch oven and reseasoned it properly. But I'm okay. I had some belly noise last night, no cramping, and I spent half the night in the closet because we had a severe thunderstorm, and the dog slept practically on my face. Because I had a hard time falling asleep, I ended up reading, and I'm thinking about writing cozy mysteries, so I'm reading some, and this one that I'm reading I'm like, I could write a better book than that. And it got 5 stars from a lot of people. That's for a different podcast, which I need to do. But yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm looking forward to seeing a show tonight. We're going to see Singing in the Rain on stage at the Performing Arts Center. That'll be fun. It is time for dinner. We're gonna leave here in about an hour. I'm having salmon in beef tallow with the cracklins on top, can of sardines. Been in a little pain. I don't know what's causing it. It could be menstrual. It could be the exercise from yesterday. It could be I didn't get all of the grapeseed oil out of the cast iron. I don't know. I was fine after my fast. It felt great. I might do another fast, but I'm gonna wait until after my cycle's done because that just messes everything up. And it's possible that that's really what the cause is anyway. I don't know that it's bad enough that I'm gonna need wine tonight. Hopefully I won't. Good morning. Time for breakfast. Ground bison in beef tallow with beef bone broth bits. It's a coffee day. I will also be taking these beef liver supplements. If you watch me a long time, you know that I normally eat liver for breakfast on Sundays, but I don't have any. This is how I'm gonna get my nutrients. I eat liver because it's highly, highly, highly nutritious. The best of the superfoods. Like, you can't get any better than liver. I'm gonna have to take the supplements instead. There is just none available anywhere right now, except maybe grain-fed liver. I don't want that. I'm still hurting a little bit, but I really do think it's menstrual. The other day when I was sitting in the closet with Scout because of the thunderstorms, I waited and waited and waited to go pee. And when I tried to get up, it felt like I pulled a muscle in my bladder or something. I don't know, maybe there's something there. Because I've had similar pain, just not as intense. It was hard to get up. I was hurting. That was just a full bladder. My body's weird. Every time I think, well, maybe I can have back-to-back coffee days, then I have to go. I just had a BM. It wasn't bad, but maybe now my cramping will subside because it is now Sunday and the last time I had a BM was Wednesday. So it's been a while. Maybe that's why I was in a little extra pain today. Hopefully I'll feel better. And I am not doing a workout today. The reason why I am dressed for one is because I'm also in shorts. I went outside to get some vitamin D. Just sitting in the sun for 15 minutes on the good sunny days. Get ready for me to get tan. Now that the sun has been starting to come out a lot and it's warming up enough to expose my skin. I do have trouble with vitamin D. A lot of my blood tests in the past, I always end up very low on vitamin D, and I would rather get it from the sun than a supplement. And again, I haven't quite started my cycle, but as soon as I'm done, I'm doing another 48-hour fast. Puppy's driving me nuts. Again, I'm eating late, but it was because I was on the phone with my mom. That can take a while. But I'm ready to eat now. I am having salmon fillet under all of those beef cracklings. So yes, I cooked it in my tallow, which I'm already almost out of. I guess I'm gonna have to thaw out some more or just switch to ghee butter for a while. But I'm also adding a can of sardines. I am feeling better. I mean, I'm still a little crampy, but it's much better than it was this morning. So I have a feeling that I might be able to get to sleep without the wine tonight. I'm gonna try to wait. And that's it. I got a lot to say about writing, but I gotta save that for a different episode or a different show. I really need to do that. Good morning. I'm dressed for yoga. That's where I'm gonna be, provided there's not a lot of thunder. Hubby can't work when the dog is driving him nuts. If there's thunder going on, hopefully that doesn't interrupt my morning. But it is time for breakfast. So I'm having ground bison in tallow with the beef bone broth bits. I did need wine last night. I'm still not doing all that great. It was worse yesterday. I think it might be menstrual, but usually that doesn't get bad until I'm in the middle of the cycle. Maybe it was the exercise because I started feeling bad after my last workout. I don't know what to do. I guess I'll figure it out. Time for dinner. Ground bison with beef bone broth bits. And this is actually in the discs from the tops of my jars of bone broth. One of them was tallow, the other is ghee butter because it came from the last time I made arm roast. I did not go to yoga this morning. I really wasn't feeling well. I ended up, because I took all 6 of the pills because it recommends 4 to 6 caplets a day. And I took all 6, and I think that was too much in one sitting because I really felt lousy afterward. And it was good I didn't go anyway because we had a thunderstorm and I ended up in the closet with the dog. Tomorrow I'm gonna do 3 in the morning and 3 in the evening. 3 for breakfast, 3 for dinner. Hopefully that'll keep me from having a problem. We're supposed to get some more really strong storms. I am getting ready to join a Zoom meeting at 7, but we are under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock. I may have to drop from that Zoom call. It's just for writers. It's a writers group, so it's not like any kind of business related. I don't have a job other than writing. I'm still not doing the greatest. I will probably have wine. I'm not convinced it's the Dutch oven yet. It could be. When I finish my fast, that's gonna be what I break it with, is the Dutch oven, just to see if cooking something in there is what's making me sick. It might still have some grapeseed oil remnants left. But it could also be stress, the exercise I did right after fasting. Who knows? But I will let you know in the next episode if I have wine, because this is my last entry for the week. And I will leave it here. I hope I've helped you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you know someone who might benefit from my information, feel free to share, and I will see you next time. Bye. Because I've been gluten-free for 11 years now. 12 years. No, 11 years. Prove that saturated fat will cause yeah, there was something else I was going to say. Can you please close that? I have to do a recording. William, please. Let her in. Never mind, she's coming. I went outside to get